I like this one. This one makes me giggle. Hi, hello. This is from Tolef. Cool name, by the way. Tolef. It's like Eckhart Tolle, but Tolef. It's good.
I guess if he's Norwegian, it's kind of like Tolef.
Tolef. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I'm butchering the. Sorry about that. But I'm a farmer, almost 50 years old. I live in a beautiful mountain valley in Norway. I'm interested in entrepreneurship, and I want to create something besides my work as a farmer, but don't know exactly what. I'm single and have been pretty much all my life. Therefore, I'm dreaming of girls every single moment of the day, many beautiful girls. I wonder if your strategies and teachings also will work out in such a small rural place as here. So I'm gonna
go there.
I kind of do. When he wrote that, I was like, that sounds like a really nice. Let's just get some chicks and show up over there. Hey, meet my buddy. But I'm gonna do a short answer, and I think James might have a little rant. I would honestly say, no, it doesn't work there. You're not gonna meet women living on a farm unless you want to start take some nice pictures and write some nice poetry and go do some online game. And if you have a little money, maybe you can connect with some girls online and convince them to come visit you in your farm. And that may very well work. It's possible. But for me, that's just not the way to do it. And I like meeting people face to face and having a connection and getting to know them. And so I would honestly say, get someone else to run your farm. And if you really want to enjoy women in this lifetime before you get too old and you don't get erections anymore, have someone else run the farm, go live for a couple of years in your capital or some other city that has lots of time, find a way to get the fuck out of there. Because honestly, people ask me this question, hey, I'm in this little town and there's nothing happening and I don't know what to do. And I really want to do something with my life. Leave the town and go somewhere where you can do what you want with your life. That is the answer. And sometimes the answer is leave where the fuck you are and go somewhere else. But I'm comfortable. Yeah, you're comfortable, and you continue being comfortable living exactly the life you have been unless you make a massive change. So the real answer is you're 50 and you've never been with a girl. Get the fuck out of there. Do either a boot camp with me or probably sounds like you need his fucking Euro tour for a week. Do a fucking course, get it done, and then go live somewhere where you have a fucking chance in hell of actually connecting with women, or die virgin. James?
I don't know. He didn't say he was a virgin, but
it sounded like he was a virgin.
It sounded like there was not much going on. Well, the first thing I would say is for everyone else is the rest of you guys is like, it's a bit of a tragedy, like to reach 50 years old and to have not figured stuff out with women if you care about it. Like if you didn't give a fuck and you were just 50 and you're like, I don't give a shit, cool. Save yourself a lot of trouble. But to get to that point, and I had a guy recently on a workshop who was 46 and was basically starting from zero. And like when you meet those guys, firstly, we do the very best we can, but there is no making up for many decades of lost time, right? Yeah, sure, you can always do something. You can always start from somewhere and make it better than it is. But for the rest of you guys, take this as a warning. Anyone who's not 50 in this, if you don't sort it out, it doesn't sort itself out. Right? People can go for years and decades without getting a handle on it. Most people will kind of end up with somebody, and some people won't, or they'll have these massive dry stretches of years and years. And that's a fucking tragedy. If you're a person that wants to connect and have intimacy and sex and a relationship, not being denied that your entire life or most of your life, fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. So take it as a wake-up call when you hear these kinds of stories from guys and go, what's the difference between me and that guy? 20 years at the moment. So I better get my shit together and start moving, right? So firstly, that's a warning. So secondly, for our farmer Tolef, yeah, this is a tricky one. You have to be honest with yourself, man. You're I don't know what kind of 50 you are, because there's dudes who are 50 who are looking pretty, looking silver fox, and there's dudes who look like they're about to die. If you're a healthy, strapping Norwegian farmer who's been snorting amazing air and drinking perfect cow's milk and eating, I don't know, whatever Norwegian farmers eat, maybe you're looking good. You can certainly, I'm going to be fucking banging 19-year-olds when I'm 50 for sure, but I will be able to do that because of all the decades of training leading up to that. So Sasha's completely right. You can only work there are systemic limitations to environments. And he and I have both moved cities and then countries multiple times to be where the thing is that we wanted. For me, originally it was music, and then it was women, and then it was business opportunities. I moved continents. I have multiple times because I realized no amount of positive thinking and kind of grinding was going to help if the environment didn't support it, right? So it's like when I was a musician, I was 100% into that. That was my life. And I was living in Canberra, which is a shitty city in Australia, and trying to make it as a musician. it was not possible to make it as a musician because there was only 3 venues and there was not a big enough audience. So it didn't matter how good a musician or how hard I worked, I couldn't work within the environment. So I packed my bags with $50 in my pocket and moved to Melbourne, which was the big city in Australia where music was a thing, and therefore the environment could support it. And then I became a not very successful musician, but slightly more successful. And same with business. I couldn't run the business that I have now at the level with the income stream and all of the awesomeness that I had doing it in Australia because there's not a large enough population, and the Australian culture is not so geared around mentorship. Right? There's Australians and Brits tend to have this bit of a like, we don't listen to authority and we're a bit skeptical about things. Whereas Americans are very open, almost naively open to mentorship. And surprisingly, Germans, once you crack through their stinginess, start getting into it. So I realized I had to move the business to Europe or America, or it would die. And there was no amount of me like, and I was very comfortable in Australia. I was ticking by. I had, plenty of girls, and I had my life sorted in a way that was like, I could cruise here for some time maybe indefinitely, but I wasn't going to be able to step up levels. So yes, you're going to have to be honest. If you're on a farm and there's fucking 2 girls in the village, there's nothing you can do. Or, I mean, you could go to fucking Russia or Ukraine and buy a woman. That may or may not be a disaster, and bring her back to live on the farm. But I've seen those kinds of things happen, and the girl comes in, gets the visa, and then leaves because, of course, like, why wouldn't she? She's bored on the farm, waits for her passport, and then leaves. So yeah, man, you're going to need to move to Oslo or Eastern Europe, which would be and Norwegians are rich. All of you are rich. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're a farmer, you're rich. Everyone's rich in Norway. Don't tell me you're not rich. So you could take whatever income and move yourself to somewhere in Central Eastern Europe. I don't want to say countries anymore because I've ruined them by saying them. You could do the harvest. I don't know when the harvest is in Norway, and then fucking let someone else manage it, and then go over and set up some kind of lifestyle where you can leverage your money, your status, and then you can go and fucking actually do the work and learn the skills. However, you better do that now or not at all.
Yeah, now's the time.